beautiful Capricorn friends, and welcome to your horoscope for June of 2021. For Capricorn, this month we are going to have Jupiter and Neptune stepping into their retrograde, bringing the retrograde activity very much so up a couple notches and giving us the indicator that it's okay to slow down and evaluate the structures and things that we have in place and what we've been working with for quite some time. It's okay to just review that right now. What's been in place since December of last year and how's it going? So give yourself some permission to slow down and take a look at those things. Now, we're also going to welcome in the summer solstice here in the United States, winter if you are some of our Aussie friends. So that's a very exciting new cardinal energy that pushes us forward as well, or gives us the opportunity to see where we need to bump up the nurturing and support in our life. I absolutely love that. Now, we will also have another eclipse. This is going to be the solar eclipse in the energy of Gemini, lighting up your sixth house space, definitely saying, okay, we need a fresh start. We need a new look at. We need a more set of healthy routines around our day-to-day realities. So we'll get into all of that in just a minute. But we're also going to have the second of 3 Saturn-Uranus squares that'll be happening this month. And it has really been pushing the button, Capricorn, for you to understand where and what your real value is, about not undervaluing yourself, and that what you do and how much you make, that does not decide your worth. What's going to decide your worth is what you think is worth it, right? So I have a whole talk about that, but we're going to get into here and see what's going on for you this month, okay? Right at the beginning of the month on the 2nd, Capricorn, we've got Venus moving into the energy of Cancer, which is in that opposing house for you. So the 7th house, okay? Now, Venus moving into Cancer is, first of all, very comfortable. They very much so like working and being together. So it's bringing a lot of benefits. It's bringing this, it's like getting a hug. Venus in Cancer is like getting a hug. It's like a hug to your relationship housing zone. So conscious chosen one-on-one relationships, partnerships, any of these kinds of things. Venus is bringing in some benefit in these areas. If there have been problems, she's going to try and bring a little bit of salve in here. But also I think that Venus in Cancer really asks us in our relationships to address what's going on at home. Are we good at home? Cancerian energy. Do we feel nurtured and nourished from home? In our relationships, are we nurturing and nourishing these particular conscious chosen one-on-one relationships? So Venus is also still Venus, though. In your relationships, you can see a little bit of money coming in for sure. And if you are single like a Pringle, Venus in Cancer and both in Leo at the end of the month is still very happy to bring opportunities for relationships into our lives as well. So just keep an eye on that. You get to travel with Venus in Cancer all month long, so you will be evaluating these things, okay? On the 10th, we'll see this new moon solar eclipse happening at 19 degrees of Gemini in your 6th house. Now, in May, we had a lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. So if you don't know about that, go back and watch the May video, okay? But we had a lunar eclipse in Sagittarius, which was in the 12th house space, saying, okay, look, Capricorn, we have really got to take care of our spiritual lives. That lunar eclipse said over the next 6 months, something has to be ended, acknowledged, or adjusted. Are we spiritually tired? Do we have gifts and talents and ideals and desires, truths, our own truths that have been hidden for a very long time, and we would much rather be living that, being alive in that way. And now, as we are here at this particular eclipse, because it's the fresh start, it's the new moon that over the next 6 months is going to give you the opportunity to begin something new and sturdy and steady from here. It's in the 6th house. So the question and the answer portion of these particular eclipses is, what did you see in May that now here in June, you're like, yeah, I need new information. I need to make some decisions about what I'm going to do in my day-to-day routine to make it sacred, right? To make it so that I feel fulfilled here, so that it has value for me. Maybe you even have to learn it. The other thing I think of is because the 6th house, 12th house axis has a lot to do with bringing out of hiding into the real form or into the real world, whether it be projects or it be harms or it be behaviors that we have or that are about our own self undoing. This could also be at this lunar eclipse where you're like, I got to go to therapy. I got to talk. I've got to share. I've got to get something out of my day-to-day mental space so that I can be healthy here. The eclipses are about course correcting us so that we can have the fullest experience with these areas. In the sixth house, this is daily routines, your schedule, your health. If you are a person who owns a business, this can be about your employees, but it can also be about the business. Is your business thriving? Are you getting out of your business what you're putting into your business? This will be a big question, I think, for you to be answering this month, Capricorn, as well. But either way, a rearrangement to these daily routines is something that'll definitely be on the table. Now, I think you feel more confident taking actions on what you're learning and what you're finding out about here when Mercury does come out of retrograde in just a couple weeks. So I'll tell you about that in a minute. First, on the 11th, we see Mars moving into the energy of Leo, which again will light up this 8th house space. And you'll have Mars in Leo until the end of July. So use this energy. My goodness, Mars in Leo is ready to take a risk. And it's a risk of the heart, right? It's a big risk. It's like, this is important to me. I desire this. This is important to me. This is true for me, right? So you take a risk of the heart. Now, in the 8th house, it's about joint connections, intimacy, vulnerability. And I just said, maybe this is the month where you're like, yeah, I've had so much going on. I haven't even realized how much I need to talk and decompress and sit with somebody and share my heart and share my vulnerability with someone. So that could be the risk that you're taking with Mars here in Leo. Whatever it is, it's going to be big. It's going to be about making space to bring you joy. You could be taking your little self on a vacation, right? You and your friends could be like, yeah, 2020 was too much for me. Time to be on a vacation. Time to go see something together. Bring the joy. Mars is lively here. Now, another thing I think is a very real possibility, Capricorn, is that you're going to take a risk on really having a relationship with somebody. Now, whether that be a financial connection with you and a bank, or it is a relationship, a sexual relationship between you and another person, you have the opportunity under this energy to take the risk. And the risk means I don't get to control the other party involved. I just get to participate. So it's very vulnerable. Whatever it is, though, enjoy the risk. Enjoy what Mars is bringing into this space for you, okay? And if you did need to be doing things like paying off debt, paying down bills, Mars will also help you do this too. But in Leo, it's slightly less excited about that, okay? On the 14th, we see the second of 3 Saturn-Uranus squares that are happening. Now, we already had the first one in February, so I'm going to ask you, go right back to February. What was happening between your 2nd house and your 5th house? What were you reevaluating, or what did you see that felt so uncomfortable and maybe even frustrating around your money and children? 5th house, 2nd house, 5th house, around your value, around, how you were working, and did that really fulfill you? Did that really bring you joy? What happened in February? Because now, as you're in the second rotation of this, Saturn is retrograde, so you are looking back. You're like literally looking back to February going, what was happening over here? And this is the opportunity you get to answer that, and also realize that the frustration, the pressure, the shock waves that come with this particular energy over this next couple weeks are about getting you to get serious about the innovation of this area. Where do you not give yourself credit and value yourself, Capricorn, right? I don't even care if you're the happiest little Capricorn out there. I am asking you this question. Is there an area where it's like, Capricorn, you forgot your magic? You forgot it. Remember it. Bring it back up. Also, get current, Capricorn. What are your current values? What do you value today? You just had Saturn running all up and down your sign, Capricorn. You have got to be a different person on this side of that. So what are your values? What's important to you today? Because that energy is helping you restructure, no matter how frustrating it might feel, okay? On the 20th, it's a busy day. We'll see the sun moving into the energy of Capricorn, lighting up, of course, that 7th house space. So now we're motivated around relationships. But we'll also see Jupiter stepping into its retrograde in the energy of Pisces at just 2 tiny degrees of Pisces, okay? So as these two are making a shift on this day, the really important thing I think to know is, because it's such a busy planetary movement kind of day, it can be a day that feels a bit unsteady, or it can feel really exciting. I would just tell you, let the bubble of the day, whatever the experience is, kind of taper down in the couple days that follow, because any day where there's a lot of energetic movement going on, it can really have an intensity of feeling. Just know we're in the solstice. You've got a fresh start with Cancerian energy, and it's really about nurturing and being nourished. Do you have the kind of relationships around you, Capricorn, that are really feeding you? Like feeding you in your big kid kind of way, not at a shallow way. And are you doing the same to the relationships around you as well? Now, if you did have something going on in court or something like that, the sun in Cancer will keep things moving. And it could be that you're in court over family things or something connected to another woman or something like that. So just keep that in mind, okay? On the 22nd, Mercury is going to go direct in the energy of Gemini at 16 degrees, and this will be in that 6th house. That's why I say the things that you see or whatever is coming to you as the month is going on, you may feel like you have a bit more mental clarity to begin to apply solutions or even to absorb what's being shown to you as Mercury is out of retrograde, and it's out of retrograde in Gemini, so it's really in full power. So just give yourself a couple days, let Mercury wake up, get going, get moving, and then all kinds of decisions you need to make in your 6th house from, you know, what needs to happen at work, what needs to happen on a daily basis for you to have a sane and healthy practical routine in your life. You know, whatever those things need to look like, things around your health, you'll have much more clarity at this point in the month, okay? On the 24th, we're going to have a full moon in the energy of Capricorn at 3 degrees, so it's going to be lighting up your sign. So it's like something needs to be ended, acknowledged, or adjusted. So at this point in the month, Capricorn, something we know is that you are definitely taking a pivot, right? There are these pieces of you that just don't need to be anymore. You will have seen a fair amount of adjustments happening in relationships this month, and it will have brought you to a different place, literally, with all of the Saturn work you've done over the last couple years too. You're just a different Capricorn. Even if you don't fully acknowledge it, you are a different Capricorn, and it is at this lunation that I think you really get the opportunity to see that. So I'm interested to see what you're willing to put down at this point, and also what's coming in for you, okay? And truly, Capricorn, for you, it could be, you know, maybe you did have this company or this job or this project for a very long time, and you're like, I can't do it anymore. It's not my priority. Or I'm willing to do it different because I have different priorities, okay? On the 25th, Neptune will step into that retrograde in the energy of Pisces at 23 degrees. So this is more influence into that 3rd house. And as Neptune goes retrograde in your 3rd house, your mind gets very clear, because without Neptune's hazy energy to kind of distract us or to give us that energy of escape, we're really seeing things for what they are. So your communication, your thinking, things in your siblinghood, your neighborhood, buying and selling things, you really get to see if these areas are spiritualized for you or not. And I will tell you, there is this experience where it is like being spiritually dry. You'll really get to see if you are spiritually dry or not, because what happens is that the mind works in overtime to try to make you feel better. So look out for those kinds of things, okay? As we close out this month, Venus will move into the energy of Leo on the 27th. So this will be in your 8th house space, and Venus will be there all through July, at least till the 21st, okay? So Venus in Leo in the 8th house is beneficial. It is benefic. I feel comfortable sharing my truth. I feel comfortable sharing my heart. I feel comfortable in financial conversations, right? Venus is just bringing a nice healing salve to this area. So maybe you took that risk with Mars, and now Venus is like, okay, I'm going to help show you how we can be supportive in this particular area. It's also an energy where you might really need to be, or you feel like you're doing a lot of supporting of children in your life in some capacity. But Venus, I think, helps make that a little bit easier, but she can also make some things expensive. So if you're spending a little bit more money as we get towards the end of the month, I just wouldn't be surprised at all. All right, my beautiful Capricorn friends, I love you a ton. I hope you have a good month. I hope you have a month where you get to apply this reading and think, okay, how can I make the most evolved decision with the energies that are given to me? I love you guys. Bye.